Hi, I'm Craig Mather, and thank you for watching Theatre News.
Craig Mather, it's great to see you. How are you doing today?
I'm really well. How are you?
Very well, very well. Always good to be in the Palladium.
Yeah, craziness.
Yeah, you're playing Mole in The Wind in the Willows here at the Palladium. Are you enjoying the role so far?
Yeah, I love it. He's a ball of energy, that's for sure. And yeah, by the 8th show of the week, I think I'll be ready for my day off. That's for sure. Yeah.
So you never leave the stage?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, I ask Ratty all the questions, and then he basically answers them. That's pretty much the whole show. I'm like, why? Why is that? Who's that? And all that kind of thing. So, yeah, we kind of narrate it, but we're not narration. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's kind of that. Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the greatest children's stories.
Yeah.
Were you immediately sold on your role?
But sorry, was I?
Were you immediately sold on your role?
As in, like, if I wanted to play it, you mean? Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I went up for it. It was the first audition I had ever had out of drama school. They did like a very small, very downscaled production in Covent Garden Actors Church courtyard. And that was the first audition I ever had out of college, and I went up for Mole. Didn't get the role, but I've always kind of wanted to play it since then, and now I'm playing it at the Palladium, so slightly bigger. But yeah, yeah, great.
Bigger.
Yeah.
And did you watch or read The Wind in the Willows as a child?
I did, yeah. I think year 3 we read it, and I just remember, weirdly, we sat on what I think were huge Tupperware boxes, and we used to kind of move down, and then if we were sat next to our teacher, we'd read a paragraph, and then we'd kind of like swap round. And I remember doing that with The Wind in the Willows. So, yeah, from a young age I've been reading. Yeah.
Who was your favourite character back then?
Back then, Toad, of course. He steals the show, Mr. Rufus Hound.
Yeah. I mean, what a great cast.
Yeah.
Neil McDermott, Denise Welsh, Gary Warmup.
Yeah.
How does everybody get on?
Amazing, yeah. Great energy in the room, and I think we've got lots of ideas between us, and I think it's good chemistry actually. Yeah. Which is great. That's what you need for this kind of show.
Absolutely. How do you research a character like Mole?
Well, firstly, read the book. I've got a book on moles. I mean, we're playing, and we're playing kind of, obviously human versions of animals. So we're not, even though we've got ears and tails and things. Some of us, I don't have a tail, but I think it's trying to, make them as human as possible. I imagine basically all of these characters are in a primary school playground, and that's really like extreme versions of toddlers, essentially, like Toad. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of how I'm approaching it from my point of view. I don't know what the others are doing, but and Mole, I think he's quite a simple soul, but he's just full of wonder, and he just wants to explore things he's never seen before. And I mean, he can't see very clearly anyway, because moles are blind. Yeah. So playing with those kind of aspects of the character and bringing them to human Mole, I guess. Yeah.
And your greatest challenge so far?
Greatest challenge. Ooh, there's been a number. I mean, what, in the rehearsal process, you mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's been done before on tour, and trying to make things different and make it your own. I think that's a challenge in any kind of show that you maybe didn't originate the character. So some of us, well, most of us that came in as principals that weren't in the tour before, that's kind of a challenge, just to try and break out of that mold. Do you see what I mean? So that's, I suppose that's a challenge. Yeah.
And how do you generally warm up before you get on stage?
We do a physical warm-up with our dance captain, and then we do a vocal warm-up. And for me, I just kind of like to have a good 5 minutes to myself in my dressing room, just to compose my energy, and then
action.
And go.
I mean, you've had a very theatre career so far, including Les Miserables, The Spring Awakening, Sweeney Todd, Tonight's the Night, etc. What have been your sort of personal highlights so far?
I mean, Sweeney Todd was, I took over Anthony when it came to, because it did a Harrington's Pie Shop thing in Tooting, and then it came to the West End, and then Nadeem, who was playing Anthony then, he had to go to Toronto to play something in the Titanic, and that was an amazing production just because it was so unique and felt very special actually. That's a huge highlight so far. I mean, playing Marius in Les Mis was a dream come true, and I've played it twice on 2 different. I did 2 stints in 6 years, so that was amazing. To play it once was amazing. To play it twice, I mean, yeah. So yeah, it's good.
Excellent. And you've had several TV roles as well. Pompidou, Cinderella. Where are you happiest? Sort of on the stage, in front of the camera?
I don't mind. I think there's pros and cons to both things. I think TV and film is very professional and very like it's your job. You kind of get picked up. It's not really much of a family thing unless you're on a long running kind of thing like Doctor Who or EastEnders or something. I imagine. I mean, I've never done it, but I imagine that that's much more family kind of orientated. And theatre is much more like that. You spend every living moment with these people, and you're kind of forced into make magic as it is on the theatre, on the stage, and there's no way back when you start the show. Whereas telly, I think it's just a bit more, I don't know, professional is probably not the right word, but yeah, I don't know.
In its moment.
Yeah, I guess, and you can go back and do things if it's not right.
Yeah, always the retake.
Slightly pressure's off, but then I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I prefer really. I like both in different ways.
And so far, what's your favourite song in this musical?
Favourite song that I sing is probably "Messing About in a Boat" with Simon Lipkin as Ratty. Yeah, it's beautiful. The song I don't sing, I think it's "Autumn." I think that the arrangement in that is beautiful. Yeah.
Excellent. And what are your acting ambitions?
Whew. My acting ambitions, I would say, I would like a really varied career, which I've started off kind of doing really.
Yeah.
I don't want to be just doing a job for the sake of it. I'd like to be creative. Yeah, and I just want to. I don't necessarily want to be famous, but be really, be well known for my art, I guess, and have a varied career that I can sustain. I think that's the biggest ambition, and have a family alongside that, which is very difficult,
Yeah. And any other projects on the horizon that you can tell us about?
Not really. I continue to write music, so yeah, that's always on the back burner.
So you've got a separate band?
Well, I've had several bands, but I've just kind of turned a corner where I was writing for myself as a music artist, but I think I have taken the leap and actually I want to write for other people. So, which is kind of
very interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's going to help me with my writing, because actually it opens so many more doors in that way,
So you write on a daily basis then?
Not at the moment, I don't have the time, but yeah, when I'm out of work, I try and lock myself in a room and
acoustic guitar?
Yeah, and drums or piano, whatever, yeah, just try and mix it up a bit, yeah.
Excellent.
So that's kind of...
Any working band title at the moment?
No, not at the moment. I think I'm going to do a cabaret back home. My mum wants me to do a night with Craig, kind of, which I'm not sure I'm really up for. But yeah, I think I might do it with some of my friends or something. Yeah.
So it sounds like fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure. Why should everybody come along to see The Wind in the Willows?
Because I think The Wind in the Willows is a huge family show, and it will guarantee to leave you walking out the theatre with a massive smile on your face. I think that's the biggest thing. Yeah.
Fantastic. Anything else to say to Theatre News watchers?
Thank you for watching. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank
Brilliant.
you very much indeed.
Lovely. Was that all right?
A pleasure. Yeah. Superb.
Brilliant.